The power of the sun is within me. I am the power of the sun. The light of the divine is within me. I am the light of the divine. Good afternoon, beautiful family. Welcome. Light will guide me, the light will protect me, the light will guide me towards my soul destiny. Show me your names on the screen, let me see who is here with me. Love will guide me, light will protect me, light will guide me towards my soul destiny. My soul destiny. Hey, hey, yahoo, hey, yahoo, hey, ya, mama, hey, ya, naya, hey, ya, maya, hey, hey, ya, mama, oh, ya, hey, ya, maya, hey, ya, maya, hey, hey, ya, mama, beautiful family, here I am. Hey, ya, maya, hey, ya, maya. Happy to be with you here on another Sunday afternoon. Let's see. We've got Rebecca, Chris, TJ, Sigrid, Bharat and Rukshika, Steven. Let me just take the music down a bit. We got Steven, we've got Ilana, we've got Tiffany, Jess, Sophie, Charlene, we've got Dawn, we've got Haley, we've got Alicia, we've got Sigrid. Oh, beautiful, beautiful presence, family. Beautiful presence. Thank you for your greetings. It's so nice to read your blessings. Beautiful. Let's put the music off for a moment. Okay. Here we are, another Sunday afternoon. Good to be with you all, family. Welcome. Woohoo! Kimberly Ballett from the Byron Shire is joining us. Woohoo! I missed you, beautiful sister. Here we are in October. My hair is fuzzy wuzzy today. I guess it's part of the Uranian energy influence. Rolkin is in the house. Laura, hello. October, 11th of October. Yesterday was the 10-10, the 11th of October. As always, we've got a lot of things to share and to talk about, but this week I would actually like to start in the right way, in the better way, of first of all, extending and giving once again my eternal love and gratitude to our awesome community, to all our Patreon members. We are growing every week, and there's more and more beautiful souls joining us. And we're going through different phases together and alone, sharing some moments, going for a week to be with ourselves, coming back into the chat room, saying hello, touching base, going away. And that's a beautiful thing, you know, that our chat rooms is like this constant heart, pulsating love. And you can go and you can come back to it, and it always pulsating that love. It holds that rhythm of love, that frequency of love. So really good to be with you on the chat and to share the time with you and to share the space with you. Oops, my leg slipped. And so thank you to all our supporters. It is thanks to you that I can keep on doing what I'm doing. And if you want to join us as well and you haven't still joined us, please go to patreon.com/healingthelight. Come and join our beautiful family. Grow with us, thrive with us, connect with like-minded people, like-minded souls, where we share things about spirituality, about astrology, about cryptocurrency, about the time we live in and how to look at things in the best way, and how to help each other, support each other, love each other. And it's a beautiful thing we are co-creating. So please join us if you feel like you want to be a part of our family, and if you feel like supporting us. If you can support our Patreon, please feel free to at least give us the minimal support of liking this movie on the YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. This will help us spread the word around. And if you want to use my affiliate links, that will be another way of you supporting me. That's in the link below in the blurb of this movie as well. Now that we are done with that, let's get into business because there's a lot for us to talk about. And let's see, where did we come from into here and now into this Sunday? It's been a bit of a weird few days. It's been a bit of a weird week, to be honest. Last week, I know that quite a few people resonated with what I'm about to say, but last week felt like kind of a, weird, spacey, dreamy, hard to focus, hard challenging to concentrate and achieve. Sleeping patterns change, dream time active, a lot of introspective, a lot of psychic kind of surgery deep within self, deep within relationships, deep within our lives. We're kind of looking into things, we are observing, we are watching, we don't know exactly what's going on, but we know something is going on. I'll just stop for a moment to greet my beautiful Habibti Tess Nobil, who is joining us, and Ruth Camp, and Jeanette, and Simone. Welcome, beautiful people. It's so nice to know that we are all right now, even though we're in separate houses, separate locations, separate time and space, we are all sitting right now together. How beautiful is this realization, that right now all of us are together. Dover Sano from Israel, my beautiful brother, I love you so much. And Janaline as well, welcome. You see what I mean? We've got Israel, we've got Europe, we've got Australia, we've got different places in Australia. And we're all coming together into this time and space to say, let's come together. Let's unite for a moment. Let's join hearts. Let's join our vibrations, and let's raise it together, our vibration, into a better state of awareness, of understanding. And that's what we're doing. And by doing that, we are the change. By being us, we are changing the world. And that is the only place we could find power in this day and time. Because if you're searching for power outside of you in the external world, you're probably feeling pretty powerless. And so that's why the guidance in all of 2020 was like, go within, deep within. And we've done so. And now we're in October. And it's pretty intense. And it's pretty full on. And it's very, very active. There is a lot of things happening. And ahead of us is even more intensity. And ahead of us, you're thinking, more intensity? Yes, more intensity. All the way to the end of the year. More and more and more and more. It will just like keep on going. It will push us beyond our boundaries, beyond our limitations, beyond our sense of self, beyond the identification of self, beyond the old philosophy, the old belief, the old values, the old is crumbling down. I remember that when we came out of first wave lockdown into a couple of weeks of comfort, some people have kind of approached me and said, but it's funny, Ami, with all that happened, people didn't change. People don't change. And it's like, yeah, that's why we need probably the second wave. And then the second wave come. And, what are we facing this week? We're facing that all our beloved teachers are going back to school. All our beloved kids, not all, but a certain part of the students are going back to school tomorrow. And, this brings a lot for the teachers. This brings a lot because the teachers will find themselves in a place where they will need to comfort the kids that are coming from, traumatic experiences. Some had it better than others. But, even I guided my son this week. A few days ago, I sat with him at night and I told him, when you go back to school, just remember that, you had kind of a good time with us here. We went to the park, I was with you. But remember that some kids in your class didn't have that, especially kids with disability. And, that's the thing that we're going to start seeing now, because the teachers are going to go to the same classroom and they're going to face the same kids that they know. And in a way, they maintain this connection with the kids through the online teachings. But each one of the kids in a classroom was in a different household, with different parents, with different family, in different conditions. Some of them had it good. Some of them, their parents could still work, could still make money, could still kind of function. They were pretty aware, very conscious, accommodating, supporting. Some kids are coming from, a bit less than that. Maybe parents that couldn't walk, maybe parents that were in anxiety, maybe parents that were actually very fearful, parents that watch the news constantly, parents, I know of some parents that, kept their children so strictly on frame. I've heard stories about a mother that kind of made sure that her kids waking up every morning at 6:30, like for school, would dress in school uniform, and during the day she told the kids to call her teacher. And so she changed the entire archetype within the kids of relationship of a daughter or a son to a mother into a daughter and a son to a teacher. What I'm trying to say is that this experiment will manifest infinite amount of scenarios, of reactions, of how different people maintained and managed themselves through this lockdown. And it's been a long time, Here we are in October, that's 7 months since March, since the whole intense saga began. And, I know that in the background there is the debate of opening up, releasing restrictions, kids going back to school slowly. And here I am as the weatherman once again coming and saying, as much as I would love to be very, very, very positive with you all, I have to be honest. There will be a third wave. And the third wave will be the most intense. And it's coming sooner than later. And so, as you go back to life again, do the same thing we've done after the first wave. Don't allow yourself to kind of believe that it's over. Don't delusion yourself. That's Neptune. Don't delusion yourself, because then you'll end up with disappointment, upset, yucky feelings. I thought we're over, now again. No. Prevent that. Just know to yourself that the most intensity is ahead of us still, okay? And it's coming this year. So the next couple of months are gonna be like absolute nutcase. Most likely, with all the Mars retrograde, with all, now, as a classic recipe, here we are now on the 11th of October. On the 14th of October, this week, then one of the big things that are happening this week is that Mercury goes there retrograde in Scorpio. So, the 3 weeks leading to the American elections will be with Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. Ooh. Mercury, communication, emails, news, environment, the political debates, the presidency of America, with all the stuff that we had 4 years ago, with the kind of election influence through social media, and, who is influencing what, and all these things. And each one that wants to win the elections will make sure that they bring as much shadow, dark facts about the other. And we're going to be just sitting back and just kind of, even if you're not going to want to be a part of it, you're still going to hear about it here and there. And you will see there's going to be a lot of sewage flooding into the river. A lot of sewage. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But, so the last week, the thing that is kind of being kind of playing with us, messing with us, is that we had, first of all, we went through this, we are coming off the second square between Mars and Pluto. That happened on Friday night. On top of that, we had Mercury opposition to Uranus, which is still going on right now. So we have the ongoing square of Mars to Pluto that is winding off now, but Mars is now heading towards Jupiter. So it's kind of like, okay, as I'm coming off Pluto, I'm now going to face Jupiter. And then at the same time, we've got Mercury stationing in opposition to Uranus. So it's kind of like Mercury was in opposition to Uranus Tuesday night or Wednesday night. I'll go and I'll show you that. So it goes like, But then Mercury moves forward. Usually it will go fast, but because he's slowing down to go retrograde, he's kind of slowed down. He's sitting there with Uranus, cooking. Okay, less intense maybe, but it's still there, stationing, and then going retrograde for again Mercury Uranus, which will come up. Mercury will retrograde, and then later on in November, once again, and later on in October, Mercury once again will come into Uranus 3 times. So here we go again, another cycle that is gonna have this threesome, boom, 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 3 times confirmation. We had a few of them. I'll just stop for a second. I say hello to Sarah. Hello to Clara from Sweden, my beautiful darling. Hello to Jess. The third wave, when by astrology the third wave will be? Jupiter, Pluto. I showed you the chart. I need to bring, I need to organize it for the next live stream. I'll show you the chart that I found. But yeah, every time that we had the peak in cases of the poo, it was exactly the days of Jupiter conjunction with Pluto. It happened in March, it happened in July, March first wave, July into August, second wave, and the third wave is coming up later in November. Yeah, the parabolic, usually when you look at charts, if you look at any chart of any, if it's gold or silver or Bitcoin or whatever asset, real estate or whatever, there is a main pattern. Within that pattern, there is many patterns, but the big pattern is always like this kind of gloom. Okay, so there's always like the third parabolic wave and then the calm down. That's the way things work. And so, yeah, I will dive deeper now and I will start talking to you about all this. Hello, beautiful Emil, brother. Hello, Laura and Carl. I hope Carl is feeling better. Hello, Tiani. Yeah, hello, beautiful people. It's good to have you. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Looking through the window, blue skies, sun is shining. Today in the morning, I went with my son for a morning walk, and the gardens are starting to blossom, and all these beautiful colors of Mother Earth is coming out to remind us of the beauty we can find in the present when we actually find presence, when we are able to recognize the beauty and to see it and to find it. And so, yes, springtime and butterflies soon will come out, and it's just, yeah, now it's the time to plant your cucumbers, your tomatoes, your kind of summer vegetables, spring summer vegetables. If you haven't started your own veggie garden, now is a good time. Even if it's just a pot plant, don't let it stop you. So yeah, that's a bit kind of what I wanted to start with. It's been so weird for me. Last week was just weird that I even come into this last one, I was like, far out. It's just been weird. Last week I used to go to sleep specific time, wake up specific time. I had everything. This week it's all just been dumped into, it just felt, the metaphor I told Naomi last week is like how I felt was like, you go to a festival and you have a big night and you wake up the day after the big night. Let's say you dance until 4 a.m., right? 4 or 5 a.m. You were dancing the dance floor and, you did what you did. And you wake up the day after and you wake up and it's like 12. You woke up in the tent because of the heat. And you're waking up like sluggish in the heat, and you go like, yeah, I should go and get some food. Yeah, I should eat something. Oh, maybe I should go and rest. Oh, yeah, I'll go. The day just go like that, and you go like, oh, that was a weird day. That's how I felt last week. Like, you went to a festival, and it doesn't end, and you want to go home. You want to kind of get back to your life, but it just doesn't end. So it's kind of like, suddenly there was not much structure. My sleep patterns changed enormously. It was just, not so dysfunctional. And part of it that I practiced, what I've practiced last week was, it's okay. It's okay to have a weird day. It's okay to have a weird week. Why do we have to judge it? Why do we have to disqualify it? Because we think that we need to be in a certain way in order to be approved by us. It's like, oh, I'm doing good only when I wake up early, I do this, I do this, I do that amount of work, I create that amount of productivity, and then I'm satisfied with myself. Can you be satisfied with yourself when you have a weird day or a weird week? That's how I kind of danced with it last week. But at the same time, last week has brought a very important, interesting essence. And I will just stop for one more and say Shalom, Ima. Shalom, Shavua Tov. My beautiful mama has joined us. And Dawn has joined us as well. Beautiful. Awesome. So let me take you a few days back on the chart. I want to show you. 22. There we go. So on Friday night at around 11:30, let's see, 11. I think it was 11:37. 11:30. Where are you? Yeah. Exactly, I was right. 11:37. There you go. So Friday night, 11:37, Mars did the exact Mars in your 10 o'clock, did the exact second square out of 3 to Pluto, 22nd degree, 29 minutes. The first square that they had was on the 13th of August. 13th of August, it was a week before the new moon in Leo. Back then, second wave became very intense, including cases, including restriction, including surveillance, including the whole kind of police and the citizen situation, the Ballarat woman, the protest that was kind of turned violent, America, all the violence in the street. That was kind of the first time. So think about the second week of August. It's kind of, that was the time where the first square happened. And it's like, here is a seed planted, here is a process for you. And as the time progressed, Mars basically was direct and Pluto went retrograde. Second time, exactly a week ago, we celebrated the fact that Pluto went direct. Funny enough, only today, Pluto has moved 1 minute. So all this week that we just passed, it was this one ongoing, slow search for the oomph to initiate the change. Because Pluto is the power, is the control, is the deep desire, is the deep need, is the deep want. The Pluto is kind of like the underworld. It's like we are reclaiming the power from the things that disempowered us. We are taking control from external sources that took the control from us or controlled us. And that could be a person, a business, a job, a government. It can be your own mind that took control over your soul, and it disempowers you because of something that happened in the past. Pluto is the unconscious, subconscious trauma, the deepest pain, the deepest fears, the creepy crawlers. And as it faces Mars, is like the masculine self is facing. It's like, hey, I want to live in this way. I want to have that in my life. I desire this. I need this. I want this. Me, my. But I can't have it, or I couldn't access it. I couldn't have it because all this time I had this subconscious, unconscious restriction, fear, trauma that controlled me and disempowered me because it shaped my conscious, subconscious way of I'm looking at myself. And so here comes the masculine self, the lower self, the ego self, saying like, hey, why can't I have that? Why can't I have that? So that's the first square. Why can't I have that? What's stopping me from having it? I want to know how I can reclaim it. 13th of August. Here comes Friday night, and it's not just it happened just on Friday night. It's the journey leading to it. So it's like all the last week was this process of like, here comes the second square. It's time to go even deeper. It's time to really go deeper and take action. Mars wants to take action. Taking action by facing the fear and daring to create the life that that you truly want, that you truly desire, that you truly need. Something is missing, something is lacking, something is causing like a loss of energy, a loss of power, a loss of self. Self doesn't feel so good about self. Self feels troubled, self feels traumatized, self feels weak, self feels afraid, or self feels in pain, or self feel trapped by a pattern of behavior that doesn't allow self to grow and thrive as it wants to, but repeats cycles of wounding. And self in this time coming and saying, I don't want this anymore. I don't want this anymore. What is this? What is this? What is it that I want? What is it that I need? What is it that I desire? Now there is deeper layer to go into that concept now, right? But the idea is that as they face the second square, and I'll stop for one moment and say, hello Costa, my beautiful brother. Hello Tanya. Hello Jess. Hello Ilana. You are all resonating with the weirdness of last week. I see. That's good. And you see, that's the thing. When we share in a vulnerable way who we are and what we felt, we get resonance. We actually help others to say, you know what, I felt that too. It's like, oh, I don't need to hide it anymore. I don't need to put myself in a certain light that I got my shit together. No. And then others can relate to that too. Hello, Kate. Hello, Kylie. Beautiful. Awesome. Shalom. Shavua tov, Abba. My father joined in the party now. Woohoo. So I will say something that I said to myself to say at the beginning. I know that sometimes some conscious parents watching this with their kids, it's a great compliment. It's awesome. But I want to give you a heads up. Mercury is in Scorpio. It's in opposition to Uranus, which is with Black Moon Lilith. Mars is square in Pluto. There is a big topic that is happening now around intimacy, around sexuality, and it's a bit of an adult content. So just for you to be aware that in this chat, most likely at some stage there will be some talking about this subject. I just wanted to kind of be responsible for any young ones that are maybe watching this and for their parents that will be able to govern it better. Not that I'm going like full on there, but I'm just saying because I know that it's going to come up. There's a lot about it. The taboo, the forbidden, the desired shadow self that wants to be reclaimed, but is being squashed underneath layers of religion, of old philosophy, of old things and all that, and old self that suppress self from desiring and wanting what self wants. Yeah. Get ready to know yourself really deeply and really intimately, and make sure that you embrace this process because it's a golden opportunity. But I've done one mistake. Usually I know it's hilarious with me. It's one of the hilarious things. But I've been so busy preparing that I haven't gone to the toilet before I started. So I'm gonna leave you for 2 minutes with the music. Oops, that's not supposed to be there. Yeah, let's see where we go. Here and here, and now it's gonna be okay. Yeah, there we go. Give me 2 minutes, and I'll be back with you. right, I'm back. Here I am. So, sorry about that, Authentic, real, live stream in your face. If I need to go to the toilet, I have to go to the toilet. What can you do? And so, yeah, let's, let me take you through it and show you. This is very interesting, okay? Because it's almost like we're going through this kind of psychic surgery of our deepest desires, our deepest wants, our deepest needs. And it's like this, there is this very golden opportunity for us to rewrite the entire script of our life, to rewrite our entire destiny by discovering who we really are and what we really are and who do we want to be and what do we want to be and with who do we want to be. And these questions always can bring up, fears, insecurities around, losing what you already have, or shaking the status quo, or, creating a bit of a rumble in your life that, might tilt you over into the unknown, into the mystery. And the idea is to connect with the thrill of that. It's to connect with that kind of thrill of like, this might do that, and that, but until I will do it, I will never know what will happen. And the fear of doing it in order to know what will happen can sometimes hold us back from doing it in order to understand what is there. And this energy is kind of offering us the chance to go there, and to see what is there. And even though you might be afraid or you might be scared, the only way to change something, to change your life, is to take action, to take risk. No risk, no gain. Simple as that. For example, if by listening to me it gave you the courage and the strength to learn and to buy Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, then you took a risk. Definitely, you took a risk. Now, for this risk, we brought many evidence of why should we do that. We brought many theories, many predictions, astrological, financial, from all aspects. We brought facts to show the picture of why should we buy Bitcoin. Why do I believe and know deep in me for 3 years now that we must have Bitcoin? It's a risk, but those who took the risk potentially will see a great reward. Those who didn't take the risk because they wanted to stay comfortable will not reap the great reward that is offered to all at this time and space. And that's life. Those who take the risk to take action, to try something that, they were afraid to do in the past, that's how you reap the reward. And so I'm showing you the chart of Friday. This is when Mars squared Pluto. And on top of that, at the same time, if you see Mercury here at 4 o'clock on 10 degrees of Scorpio, he has passed Juno. So he met with Juno, reminding you, it was like, hey, let's look into our sacred unions, into our sacred relationships in Scorpio. Yeah, it's like, what are we keeping secret from ourselves? What are we keeping secret from our beloveds? What is kind of hidden in the back of your head that you don't dare share with me? Let's talk about that. Let's expose, let's share. So he's past Juno, and then he's come to the 10th degree of Scorpio. And what happens when he comes to the 10th degree of Scorpio? He's in opposition to Uranus. Okay, Uranus here at your 10 o'clock, 9 degrees Taurus. 9 degrees, 33 minutes. So if I'll move it like, let's see, and to exact moment. So Mars square Pluto, while Mercury is closing in on the opposition to Saturn, and Mercury opposed Uranus on Wednesday night, I think. Let me take you there. 9:37. There you go. 9:37. Thursday, 7:37 in the morning, when Mercury at your 9 o'clock, Mercury 9 o'clock, opposition to Uranus, the pinky here, on your 3 o'clock. Okay? 9 degrees 37, 9 degrees 37. If this happened on Thursday morning, it means that most likely, from mainly Tuesday, because you remember, it's not just the point of alignment, it's the journey leading to it and from it. And so probably Tuesday, Wednesday has presented an opportunity for you, a situation where something was suddenly revealed, exposed. It could have been kind of a lightning bulb idea or a lightning bulb realization. Lightning bulb is Uranus. Out of nowhere, suddenly, boom, I just realized something. Suddenly, boom, oh my God. Did I hear you saying that? Or did I just hear what I heard? It's like, oops, did I just say what I just said? Uh-oh, I never dared to say that before. That's the first time I allowed myself to express that. Or that's the first time that my relationships have expressed something to me that I never heard before. Oops, how does that feel? Oh, that's interesting. Processing it, thinking about it, reflecting, feeling the reaction, how you reacted, how your body reacted, how you felt. Did you like it? Did you didn't like it? So that's kind of a possible effect of Mercury in opposition to Uranus. So Uranus is the sudden, unexpected event, shock, trauma. It's kind of quirky. It's out of the box. It's kind of radical. It's extreme. It's because it wants to break free. It's kind of innovative. It's kind of the bigger picture. And Uranus kind of rules Aquarius. It's ruling the people, other people. So it kind of brings us something from other people that suddenly kind of shake us or shake our perception. Because Mercury is your perception, is your understanding, is your intellect, is your communication. So that's what I'm saying. It's all you have said something to yourself or to others. It's all you realized something or thought something, processed something around the others, around the people in your life. Or the people in your life might have done it to you. They might have told you something and given you an insight or, exposed something to you that suddenly affects you in a certain way that you were not expecting, and it takes you on this kind of journey of like, what is that showing me? What is that? Let me sit with that. Let me process that. Most likely it happened to you on the Tuesday, Wednesday leading to Thursday, but possible also on Thursday. And possible it's ongoing. Why? Because on Thursday, 7:37 a.m., it was the exact opposition. But, here we are. I'll take us to now. 3 days later, Mercury is here at your 1 o'clock on the 11th degree of Scorpio, and Uranus is on the 9th degree. So yes, they're not exactly, but it's still there. Now, Mercury is not moving fast, because on Wednesday, Mercury will station retrograde on Wednesday on the 11th degree. So Mercury is already very slow. Usually Mercury will fly 2 degrees a day, a degree and a half a day. Suddenly now he's sitting on the same degree for a few days. So it's kind of like, think about it like that. Here's Uranus, and here comes Mercury, and it goes like... Boom. That's the process of Mercury and Uranus that is unfolding. Here came Thursday morning. The build up to that, something was brewing, something was cooking, and it's directly linked to relationship, to your intimate relationship. It's relating to your intimacy because Mercury is in Scorpio. Scorpio is the hidden, the secretive. Scorpio is the psychic detective. Scorpio is the forensic detective looking for the details in the unconscious and the subconscious, reading between the lines, connecting the dots. Wait a second. Did he say that? oh, so if he said that, what does that mean? Is that one? It's like that's what's Mercury in Scorpio doing. It's kind of like, wait a second, I can see what I see, I can hear what I hear, but what is it that I don't see that is there? And what is it that I feel intuitively, psychically about what's really going on here that was just shown to me? So it's like Mercury is doing this psychic surgery in Scorpio. He wants to understand what is the secret, what is the hidden agenda, what is the manipulation that operates here, what is this kind of like, the forbidden thought, what is this kind of forbidden need, the forbidden desire, what is that shadow self kind of, hidden kind of need or desire or want that kind of keep on biting on you from the inside. I will get to what this could translate as soon. I'm just building it all up for you. Okay. So Mercury entered Scorpio, met with Juno, the goddess of all goddesses of sacred union and marriages. Like, yeah, let's look deep into our most sacred relationship, into our most sacred unions, into our marriages. Let's go deep into that place that usually is kind of like, that's cool, leave that alone. No. Let's go there. Let's question. Let's investigate. Let's look deeper. Let's communicate. Let's converse. Let's discuss. How you doing? Like Joey from Friends, How you doing? It's kind of like, no, but how you really doing? Underneath that, how you doing? Yeah, I'm sad. It's like, why are you sad? Yeah, just a friend kind of, told me this and this and that. It's like, but why is it affecting you? I don't know. I guess because of, I remember when I was a child, my father used to talk to me like that. And not that it happened to me, I'm just saying. I was like, oh, okay. So because that happened to you, it made you think that. So now that person is saying that to you, you react like that. That's interesting. And what is your thing? Now, Uranus is the kinky. Uranus is the quirky. It's the out of the box. It's the radical. It's the innovative. It's like, I want to break free. I want to be free. So here we are combining this revolutionary, radical Uranus, breaking free, innovation. It's time to freshen it up a bit. It's time to kind of dust off all this, Let's take a common relationship, you get along with someone, you get into partnership. At the beginning, it's amazing, exploration, making love here, making love there, making love in that way, making love in this way. A year is passing, 2 years is passing, 3, 4, 5, and suddenly it's kind of like a routine. It's mundane. It's like there is this kind of patterns that are playing between couples. When do we do it? When we don't do it? How do we do it? How we don't do it? Where do we go? Where we don't go? This time comes there and says like, it's time to spice up some things here because it feels too rotten. Things became too stale. It becomes too boring. It's kind of like, I'm missing some spice, right? So this is what Uranus is coming. Uranus is in Taurus. Taurus is the place of Venus. Taurus is relationships, it's family, it's health, it's physicality, it's beauty, it's the sexual raw pleasure. It is pleasures by all means. It is sensuality. It is satisfaction. It is pleasures. So Taurus likes that. Taurus likes to have good quality pleasures while being safe and secure. So the main archetype of Taurus is like safety, security, stability. That is important because then I can have more pleasures, more good quality life. I'm with the people I really love. I'm doing what I really love, and I'm surrounded by beauty. That's kind of the Taurian agenda. To be secure, safe, and stable, build a house, so then it can decorate it and put the candles and put the crystals and put the pictures and put the comfortable sofa, not just like a cheap sofa. No. Comfortable sofa, that's Taurus. Uranus comes in there and he's saying, Taurus, I know you got comfortable over the last 84 years since I've come here. Last time I visited you was in the 30s. And just to remind you just a bit of what I'm about. So last time I came to visit you in Taurus in the 30s, that was kind of after the Great Depression crash that happened on the 29th of October, 1929. And in the years leading, following the Great Depression, basically what we experienced is the rise of extremism, radicalization, where people were searching for extreme solution because of extreme struggle, great poverty, great unemployment. It was very tough. It was very bad time on earth. It was like people were just like trying to get by through the day. A lot of people lost everything because a lot of people were the roaring 20s, where Uranus was in Aries. Many people discovered buying bonds. The banks for the first time initiated bonds for the people. Bonds mean you could buy a paper of value of the government that's worth $1,000. But back then, it's like they wanted to stimulate it. So they say, look, you can borrow up to 10 times your money. So you could buy $10,000 worth of, let's say you could buy $1,000 worth of bonds, government-initiated bonds, with $100. We will lend that to you, and you will pay us incentive. Because the stocks were just going up and up and up and up and up, the entire 20s, up and up and up. They were going up because stock markets was introduced for the first time to the public. Until then, it was only for the rich alone, only the rich only. And so in the roaring 20s, the 1920s, suddenly, after the First World War, America was thriving. They started producing cars, vacuum cleaners, Frigidairs. Technology came into the houses, Uranus in Aries, revolutionizing. And the Great Depression happened because of greed. It was oversaturated greed. Give me a second. So oversaturated greed. People just borrowed way beyond their means, lived way beyond their means. Sounds familiar to now, isn't it? Where people just buy properties and cars and buy, whatever on Amazon, on eBay, or whatever. They just buy. It doesn't matter, we don't have money, we'll put it on the credit card. Just put it on the credit card, as if the credit card is something that's not going to knock on your door one day. And unfortunately, we can't blame the people fully because that's what the banking system and the government has instructed people to do. That's the education, that's been the doctrine. It's okay if you don't have money, you can still buy a property in $1 million, even if you only have $30,000 and you make an income of $10,000 a month. It doesn't matter. We know we're basically allowing you to dig your own grave, but we allow you to do it because we can make a lot of money on your stupidity. So then came the 29. And after they've sold the bonds papers to everyone, one day they just crashed the markets. Not before. The smart money already checked out. And so the smart money is considered to be the people in the know that knows what to do with the money in the right time. The smart money is buying Bitcoin now. The smart money has been buying Bitcoin over the last 10 years. The smart money has been buying gold and silver over the last 10 years. The smart money has been selling stock markets and real estate over the last few years. Because the smart money knows. Who are the smart money selling it to? To what they call the dumb money. The people that are not educated, they don't know enough. They think like, I might make money. But they don't do research. They don't understand markets. They don't understand how economy works. They don't understand the entire markets are rigged, corrupted, manipulated. They don't understand that. They think that it's like, oh, wow, it's a lucky day. No. It's all computers generated. Everything. Every single market is traded on computer bots, which Alan Greenspan, which back then worked for the Fed, he was the first person that invented the electronic trading. He was the one that introduced electronic trading to the people. And so it's all electronic. But we're going off the track now because I wanted to show you how Uranus in Aries was in the 20s. It compares that to the fact that Uranus was in Aries from 2012 until 2019. Okay? So what happened 2012 to 2019? Social media bubble. Facebook and Instagram and Amazon. And what is Aries? Aries is about self. It's like, oh, look at me. I'm unique. I'm different. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. It's not that it's wrong. We all did that. I had my Facebook page since 2006. Facebook page, I started promotion on Facebook when people just started to pick it up because I saw it's like I could see what it's about. So many of us developed businesses, based on social media. Each one came up with his own unique talent, his own unique pictures. Instagram, each one can take whatever pictures they want. They can write whatever hashtag they want. You can create hashtags. You can bring your own unique divine expression in a radical way. The more radical you are, the more followers you have, The more bottoms you show, the more likes you have. The more you present yourself, give yourself freely, the more followers you have. And the reality TV shows. Look at me, I'm the Kardashian, I'm living a beautiful life. You should follow me. Follow me because I am cool, follow me because I am rich, follow me because I'm sexy, follow me because I'm beautiful, follow me because I'm wise. That was Uranus in Aries, 2012 to 2019, 2012? It was 2011. 2011. From, the 11/11 year. Harmonious Gathering concert. It's like, I remember that time very clearly. But then in 2019, Uranus moved to Taurus. So now the cycle of Taurus, if 2011 to 2019 is compared to the roaring 20s, you can see, because what's been going on since 11 to 20? Stock market has been going up and up and up. Real estate market going up and up and up. Everyone buying, the Airbnb concept. I know stories of people who bought houses. They bought like 5 houses and they mortgaged one on top of the other because they had the brilliant idea that they're going to do Airbnb. So they bought properties, they renovated them, they made them Airbnbs, and then they have like 4 or 5 different houses. Guess where they are now? In deep, deep, deep. So we can say that the same thing that happened in the 30s can be looked at as in resonance to what we can experience now, what we are experiencing now. And then the 30s brought up, radical change, radical extremism. People were looking for extreme solution to extreme problem, and they went to extreme leadership. If you look at the world of today, you see extreme leaders. If it's like, Trump and Putin and the Chinese president and the North Korean president, and you can see that there's like a lot of leaders who are very kind of more extreme, radical, very kind of, preparing for something. And then the 30s led, Uranus in Taurus was, the Second World War, the rise of Hitler, that was supported by people extreme need of extreme solution, has led them to choose an extreme leader that can show them extreme result. And we saw the result, the Second World War, the darkest time, one of the darkest times in humanity, And so, you can see how that affects now as well, that we have like extreme situation on planet Earth. Taurus is planet Earth. And so the way I got here is from this Mercury with Uranus. So Uranus is doing a massive revolution in Taurus, disturbing, destabilizing. Remember, Taurus, I told you, like the comfort, this is, I like this is what I like, this is what I don't like. Comes Uranus and says like, sorry, we have to break down your house because you sit on a sacred land. It's like, what do you mean? This is my house, this is where I live, that's how I live my life. And it's like, sorry. But don't worry, sudden unexpected, we're going to make sure that we're going to give you a new house in a new piece of land, even better, and we're going to compensate you and give you So Uranus is offering a better life. But he's doing that by destabilizing the old life, by destabilizing the old sense of security, safety, stability. And then when it's in opposition to Mercury in Scorpio, it's kind of like, it's saying like, hey, what's your hidden desire? What's your hidden need? So it's like, why are you hiding this? You said to yourself that this is the life you live, but honestly, you've been kind of dying inside there. So let's spice it up a bit. What do you need, baby? What do you want? It's like, are you sure? Are you comfortable? It's like, is that enough to be comfortable? But then let's look deep within. What is this desire? Why did you forget about that? What is that? So I can tell you, based on a few private sessions I had last week, that all private sessions at the moment are fascinating psychic walk, because that's Mercury in Scorpio. This is a fantastic time to do counseling, to do healing sessions, to do shadow work with other people, not with yourself. Because with yourself, you can only get to a certain level of understanding, because you can't see everything. You're still limited in some way. That's why when you use someone else external to you, they can show you things that they see that you don't necessarily see. And this is a fantastic time now to really kind of do that investigator walk inside. And it's like, what is it that I don't know? What is it that I don't see? What is it that I miss? Like, because I want to know this hidden fact, this hidden secret that I keep it secret for myself, and I want to understand it, because I wanna break free. I want to have a new life. I want to have a new kind of way of living my life, and I can see that something is here, and I want to explore it, but I don't really want to. I'm afraid. I'm scared. But that's the only way to know. All right. So, welcome, Chris. Welcome, Dawn, Valerie, and Angelique, beautiful sister. I missed you. So yeah, this is kind of the journey of like Uranus in Taurus, and it's going until 2026. So we've got heaps of that coming still. And Uranus is now retrograding back. It's going to retrograde all the way back into the 6th degree, beginning of 2021, and then it's going to move forward again. So whatever he's doing now, he's going to visit again in 2021, and then move on from here. So it's quite interesting that Mercury is doing this walk, and Mercury is stationing retrograde right on top of this opposition to Uranus, like right there. Very, very interesting. Now, there is an interesting fact that I've realized, that on the chart, on the screen that I'm showing you, there's a bit different. I don't know why exactly, but it's a bit different than what I have on my phone. And for some reason, this chart is showing Aries on the 28 degrees in Aries here next to Uranus. But in fact, this is not true. In fact, Aries right now is with Uranus on the 9th degree. Black Moon Lilith is with Uranus on the 9th degree. So as Mercury is stationed in their opposition to Uranus, and he is coming after he met with Juno, the goddess of sacred union and sacred marriage, so here comes this kind of like conversation, reflection, and reminding you that Mercury retrograde coming up from this Wednesday for 3 weeks ahead. It's time of reflection, redefinition, rediscovering, rethinking, reprocessing. It's time of communication, conversation, awareness, because usually there's a bit of glitches, misunderstandings, miscommunications, technology malfunctions. We've been talking for a while about possible internet hiccups and stuff. Yeah, this is it. Emails, technology, mobile. So, use these few days. You've got to back up important things that you need to back up. But, this is it's going to be interesting. Because, so Mercury is there with Juno. He's past Juno, but he came here from Juno. And with Uranus, you've got Black Moon Lilith, which is almost the opposite of Juno. Because Black Moon Lilith is that kind of... it's that femme fatale. It's that kind of the rebellion woman. It's that naughty woman. It's that kind of woman who's like, I don't care about, you only make love to someone you're married to. I want to sleep around. That's Black Moon Lilith. I want to sleep around. I want to sleep with whoever I want to, whatever I want to, I don't believe in values. I don't believe in ethics. I just do whatever I want because I'm a free woman. That's Black Moon Lilith, basically. Reminding you the story, Black Moon Lilith was the first wife of Adam. And because she wouldn't be submissive to Adam, Adam complained to God, and God took Lilith away and brought Eve, which Eve was like that Mother Mary, feminine, allowing and stuff. Very interesting, right? So I don't know why this is happening. Something is happening. Don't know why this is happening, but I need to take a break soon again. But the fact that Black Moon Lilith is with Uranus, Uranus being the quirky, out of the box, radical, extreme, change, with Black Moon Lilith, daring against the taboo, changing the status quo, just kind of rebelling against kind of the old way of being, and they're both in Taurus, so it's kind of, taking the risk to do the naughty thing, to do the forbidden thing, to try that thing that you usually don't allow yourself to try, knowing that it might create this stability, it might create some kind of, changes to the structure of your life, but you will not know what is there until you will try it, and this is the time to do it. This is the time to try it. As simple as that. Now, the beautiful thing, full transparency, I can't hide anything. I'm sorry. I have to leave you for 1 minute. I have no idea what's happening, but I need to go for 1 minute. So give me 1 more minute, okay?
We are opening, opening, opening our hearts to love. We are opening, opening, opening our hearts to love. Opening our hearts to love. Opening our hearts to love. I am opening my heart to love. Opening my heart for love.
I'm back, baby. Someone decided to do his gardening blower right now.
Love is.
So, now that I'm back with you, I'm sorry about the blower in the background. Hopefully it won't last for too long, but that's what happens, beautiful day, people doing their gardening, good on them. So, Black Moon Lilith with Uranus in Taurus, what is your desire? What do you, what is that fantasy? Oh, you can't hear it? Awesome. Can you hear me? Everyone's cool? I'm just checking in on the chat room. Everyone's cool? Everyone can hear me? I have a zip until you answer. Awesome, fantastic. Thank you, Alicia. Okay, so let me be. Hello, Chalita, beautiful girl. Cool. Let's be real now, okay? Let's be real. I'll give you a kind of line around all this thing of Uranus, Black Moon Lilith, Mercury, Juno, and as they do that, there is more happening. But yeah, there's more happening in the background, in the other stuff, which makes it even more. It's based on a few private sessions I had last week, and based on this astrology. In one case, it was like, yeah, you're married for many years. You have your intimate partner for many years. It's stable, it's secure, it's safe, You live your life, you raise your kids, you pay the bills, It's working, you found an equation. But, it's over the last few years, you kind of slowly along the years, you found yourself getting a bit bored. A bit mundane, You're missing a bit of a spark, you're missing a bit of a spice. And suddenly in your head, you start developing this kind of fantasy. It's kind of like, you're looking out a bit, maybe you're kind of thinking about maybe kind of looking elsewhere or doing something elsewhere. And it plays with you because you're a good person, you have your values, you have your ethics, you will never really do something like that. But it's kind of like it plays with you. It doesn't let you find peace. It's just like, yeah, but I'm curious, but I really want to know. It's kind of a forbidden fantasy, Let's keep it in the most straight way. Let's say just like you're married to the same man for many, many, many years. He's a good man, you love him, everything is great there. But, you're bored and you're missing a bit of zits, you're missing a bit of spice because you're a mother and you're a wife and you're cooking and you're helping and you're cleaning and you're walking, you're on your own business. So you do all this, you have all these responsibilities, and you just feel like you just want to be a woman. And for some reason in your head, it's telling you that in order for you to be like a woman, you just want to be with a new man, a new man. And that man will be different than your man. Maybe he will be more muscly. Maybe it will be more, more kind of more of a man, a real man kind of a thing that can make you feel like a woman again. Because your masculine approach to life of being so responsible and taking actions and making sure that everything, this is very masculine oriented, and it doesn't allow you to just be that woman. And so here you are, in your head it's cooking, suddenly you find yourself from time to time a bit flirtatious, flirting a bit, but you're kind of doing it innocently, harmless. But you, inside of you, you know that kind of you needed to do that flirt because it kind of gave you that kind of like, he's into me, or that was nice, or I haven't felt that for a while. And then from time to time, you might have kind of this intimacy with yourself, and you might have that fantasy, and you might be kind of stimulated by it and playing with it, but then you're stimulated by it, but then you feel guilty because it's kind of that thing it's not like you, it's not in your character. You will never really dare to do something like that in reality. So, in a private session I had this week, it was an important thing to bring up, that it's important to understand that a fantasy is a fantasy. It's like there's nothing wrong in having a fantasy as long as we don't mix it up with reality and realize that, it's like there's a very fine line between having a fantasy and acting upon your fantasy. And acting upon your fantasy has its own process, its own time and space, if it's needed, if it's right, for karmic reason or whatever. But having a fantasy, there is nothing wrong in that, because through a fantasy we are able to explore and experience a certain experience or a certain way of being ourselves that we usually won't allow ourselves to be. And that's why it's so stimulating. That's why it has that thrill, that rush, that adrenaline, that turn on. Because it's the forbidden thing that we won't dare doing. That's why it can stimulate you and arouse you. But with the time you've developed a bit of kind of processing around it, maybe a bit of judgment, a bit of guilt, a bit of shame, because you have all this time, this fantasy, and it's inside of you, it's a secret, you don't really share it with your partner because you're afraid. You don't want to share it with your partner because what if your partner will think that you're a slut, or what if your partner will think that you are like, sleeping around, or, what if your partner thinks that you don't love him anymore, or that you don't want to be with him anymore because you told him that you have a fantasy of another man? Leave alone that most men have fantasies of their own as well. And that's the thing as well. It's not just for the woman, it's for the men too. Let's say you have a fantasy of being with another woman, but you have it's going to those places. You know what I mean? It's a very fine territory. So please know, with awareness, that I don't necessarily promote it. I'm just describing the situation, because some of our audience are very kind of orthodox and kind of very, devotee, pure in their intimacy. And some of us are a bit more free and explorative. So the idea is that we all are different, and it's okay that we are different. And, if something that I say maybe trigger you in a way, that's a point by itself. To sit and with yourself say, why did Ami just triggered me with that thing? For some of you, it might be like, oh my God, it's almost like he's talking about me, because I had that fantasy too. And I've been processing that exactly, that I have this kind of need, I want this kind of thing. And it's like, or you might be on the other side, says like, oh, I never allowed myself to have a fantasy. That's interesting. I never thought about that. So many different translations to what I'm saying to you, but just take it as simple as it is, okay? Then last week might have put you in a place where it was like, one of these sessions that I had, loving family, loving couple, everything is good, everything is great, good connection, love connection, but mentally a bit disconnected, soul level a bit disconnected, So there's kind of like a bit of separation in the mental association. Like there is the love, there is that kind of sacred union, but mentally they're checking out. Why they're checking out? Because it's a bit flat, it's a bit boring, it's a bit dull, it's a bit kind of missing a bit of that excitement. So what kind of a life is that? Not fun. So then, the woman was processing these kind of like things she never even dared talking about. And just the fact of allowing the person to talk about it, that is a great healing and relief by itself, because you're expressing out something that is brewing inside of you, but because you don't express it, you yourself are not fully processing it properly, because you're denying it from yourself. You're denying it from realization. You're denying it from actualization. You're denying it from like having its place to be identified, to be recognized. What is that? What is that showing me? Until you do that, you're not capable of fully understanding it and solving it, because you are hiding it. You are ashamed for it, or you feel guilty for it, or you're insecure about it. And so part of this energy could have meant that you found yourself out of nowhere having a very intimate conversation with your partner. And maybe you kind of wanted to explore something in your bedroom that was never explored before. Maybe, you kind of shared a fantasy with each other that you never dared sharing before, and you were even afraid of sharing a fantasy. You were even afraid and worried about how your partner will perceive you if you even go into fantasy, together. But on the other hand, you need to understand, it's like when you sleep with the same person for many, many years, you have to bring some playfulness into the bedroom in order to keep it kind of like alive and active. And so, for some people it might be a fantasy. For some people it might be a bit of lingerie. For some people it might be a bit of, some toys or some experimentation. So there's many different ways to explore, and for each one it's a different kind of level. But this time he's saying that let's explore something that is out of the mundane, out of the picture, kind of like, let's take that risk. Because the risk involved in A, being judged, being condemned, being kind of, questioned and looked at as weirdo, or a whole new spark into the relationship, a whole new flavor, a whole new spice. Because suddenly after you shared it with your partner actually really loved it. Your partner actually really enjoyed it. And suddenly it kind of allowed you to connect and communicate and converse about a new thing, It's suddenly kind of the reason why we feel great when we fall in love, because there's all these things to explore. There's a whole new territory to explore, another person. But when you're together with the same person for many years, you get used to the person. So you see the person in the way you see the person, and you forget to look at the person in a new light every day. And as the years pass by, you think that person is the same person you married, but it's not true, because we're all changing constantly. The essence is the same, but we're changing constantly. And so this time is offering us an opportunity to reinvent ourselves, to reinvent our relationships, to reinvent our intimacy, to reinvent in the way we perceive, talk, communicate, converse, reflect, think about our intimacy, about our intimate relationship, about being like brave enough to say, you know what, I really like when you do that. I never experienced that before, but I really like to try it. I took it to this kind of sexual place because of Scorpio, just to make you realize. Because of Scorpio, it's Scorpio. It's kind of like, Scorpio is kind of the secret, the hidden, the fantasy, the cheating, the betrayal, the alibi, the manipulation. It's kind of like, let's see what can I reveal about myself when I'll take myself into this kind of an experience, what it will show me about myself. So it's like what it will show me about my partner, what will it show me about myself being with my partner in that situation. My reaction to it, my interaction with it, my processing of it, my thought of it. But above all, it will also show me the hidden truth. Because what if for many years I really, really wanted to try that? But I never allowed myself to express it and to communicate that need within the relationship because I didn't want to be looked at as weird. If I will express that need, if I will share myself in that new intimate way, if I will share this hidden desire, this hidden need, then it will show me something about me. Because as I will do that, I will be feeling something, I will be processing something, I will be reflecting on how does it feel to even say it, to just to dare to express that hidden need. It doesn't have to be sexual. You can have a good friend, and for many years you just kind of friends, but really in the background you're in love with that friend. You want to be with that friend. But you never dared to tell that friend that you're actually contemplating something deeper with that friend because you don't want to lose him as a friend or her as a friend. And you will never know if she's really or he is really into being with you unless you will ask. And yes, by asking that friend, you're risking the friendship. You might lose the friendship, but you also will never know if he actually wants to be with you in the same way you want to be with him unless you will say it. That's kind of it. And so by doing that, by daring and having the courage to say it, to face it, to experience it, we will be able to uncover and discover a hidden truth about ourselves and about our partners or about our friendships or about the people or about the collective consciousness. Uranus is the people, is the collective consciousness. So it's not just your partner, it's the people we are with. It's like, so this also may be that it will show you the honest truth that you live in an illusion, that the person you're with is not willing to accommodate something that is nice for you. You might face a situation where you might be judged, you might be criticized, you might be told off, you might be ashamed, projected. The people who project onto you will be people that you kind of like don't know how to accommodate that vulnerability, that intimacy, right? And that will show you that it's indeed over. That friendship is indeed over now that you know that he doesn't really love you. He was just enjoying the fact that you were in love with him. So he was getting that energy from you constantly, and now that you've confessed your true, honest, intimate feelings, and you saw that the feedback is like, well, get out of here, man. There's no way I want to be with you. It's like, you know what? Screw you. I don't want to be a friend. It's that. So yes, it's scary. Yes, it might mean lose someone. Yes, it might mean lose yourself. The old self, the insecure self, you have to lose it. And there's more and more. So now that I've dived deep into this kind of dynamic with Mercury and Uranus, realize that it's still ongoing, and realize that it's going to be here until the 22nd of October. All right, I'll show you. I'll show you the days. So if I go to the chart, this is now, and I'm going to take you to the days. And what I want you to look at is Mercury here on the 11th degree of Scorpio. Just focus on Mercury, okay? Just on him and the 11, okay? Here we go. Mercury 11, and I'm moving through the days. Look at that. Here comes Wednesday. He's going retrograde. He's retrograding back, and he's going to meet Uranus. Oops, again. Backwards. We're going to meet Uranus again. Uranus 908. Mercury 908. There you go. Tuesday, the 20th of October. That's 9 days from now. Okay? So, from Thursday morning, like Wednesday, Mercury came to Saturn. Boom, but it didn't really come off it. It's still there in the, and Uranus just kind of like and now Mercury goes retrograde. It's like, wait a second, what did I just realize? What did she just say? What did you just say? Did you just say what you said? Did you really want that to happen? Did you really say that you want to feel that or experience that? This is how you really feel? This is how you really think? This is what you think about me? This is how you really perceive me? This is what? Really? Right? Just a second. Because it's like something hit you. You're like, oh, that's interesting. And here you are processing it, and it's on Sunday now already, and you're still processing, and you're going to keep on processing it. And it's like, it's going to keep on being in this process of cooking with like bzz, bzz, bzz. There will be like more revelations, more insights, more kind of like things coming out in conversations, things that you will read, things that you will hear, things that you will listen to, things you experience. And then on next Tuesday, the 20th of October, Mercury is going to be like that second zap. It's kind of like, okay, here, boom, another click. And then Mercury will back off. And I'll move to days now. And just watch Mercury, 12 o'clock, 9 degrees, with Juno again. Oh, that's a very interesting fact as well. That's a very interesting fact. That Mercury passed Juno to meet Uranus. And now he's still there. Juno is catching up because Mercury stopped. Juno is coming into them saying like, yeah, you know what? Let's see exactly when it happens. Juno, 9/11. There you go. Juno 9:10. Hours. Juno 9:11. 9:13. There you go. On Sunday, next Sunday, 18th of October, Juno, pink here, at your 2 o'clock, have passed Mercury is coming into Mercury. Mercury is retrograding into it. This is going next week. I'm just giving you an insight. I don't want to go too much into it, okay? Because we'll talk about it next week. But it's building up. So let's go back to now. Let me show you from now. Mercury and Juno. Here they are, okay? Yellow and pink, right? 11 degrees Mercury, 6 degrees Juno. Mercury is still cooking with Uranus. Black Moon Lilith is here. Remember, Black Moon. I don't know why this mistake is happening, but Black Moon Lilith is here with Uranus in opposition to Mercury. And Black Moon Lilith is saying to Uranus, yeah, let's rebel. Let's do the forbidden, the naughty. Let's go against the taboo. Let's experiment. Let's explore. Let's try. It doesn't have to be sexual. Let's explore doing a counseling session. Let's explore doing like a healing session. Let's go and talk to a healer, or talk to a counselor, or talk to a psychologist, or talk to a friend, an intimate friend, and share with that friend what we experience in ourselves, someone we can really trust. It has to be someone we can really, really trust, okay? And so I'm saying better to do it with a healer or a counselor. It's like, I want to expose myself. And that's what happened to me last week. I had people wanting to expose themselves. And thank God, that's part of my gift. That's what I'm very capable of and good in doing, is helping people kind of really get to the bottom and see the pattern and see through what is really happening. And that's what happened all the private sessions of last week. People just got exposed, and I showed them what I can see. But I exposed them with love, with safety, with stability of Taurus, not with judgment, not with criticism, not with shame, not with guilt, with acceptance. This is who you are. It's okay. Show me who you are. Strip naked. Show me who you are, so I can show you what I see. Now I can give it back to you. Now do you see? And then you go into a process. And this is what it is. So it can be taken into your sexuality of Scorpio and Taurus. Taurus is also sexuality and pleasures. If you're a married couple, if you're a long-term couple, or if you're a fresh couple. This could be you and your partner exploring some, territories in your intimacy that you didn't dare to explore before. For some people, it can be extreme, extreme, extreme. For some people, it can be slight, something new. Just a beautiful, sexy lingerie can change the entire experience. You never really dared to put lingerie because you never really thought that you are sexy. You never really thought that you have a good body to be in a sexy lingerie. But by doing that, you have suppressed yourself, put yourself down, stole away your feminine, your feminine beauty, your feminine goddess self. You took her away and you say you're not worthy of sexy lingerie. Why not? Why not go? Now, for each one, sexy lingerie can be something different. For some women, it will be like just a beautiful baby doll that is kind of decent and nice, and that's beautiful. For some women, it can be a fully naughty thing. Fully exposure, different decorative, different things, There's so much out there these days. I don't need to go there. Just go and have a look. But I'm saying, like, for each person, the edge is in a different distance. So know who you are and know what is your edge and know what is it that you want to do. Not everything that I say need to be valid for you. But try to see what it means to you. Because again, I'm not I'm not saying to people, go now and just like unleash your shadow self. No. It has to be while you know who you are. You know your truth. You know your true value. You know your true self. And because you know that that true self is that, and you know it, you are not afraid. Even if you're afraid, you're going to put it out there because you deserve to put yourself out there. You deserve to be seen. You deserve to be embodied. You deserve to live your needs. You deserve to live your desire. You deserve to live your wants. That's what Mars retrograde is doing in Aries. Everything that I say is a translation of the stars. Mars in Aries here on your 8 o'clock, 21 degrees Aries. Still retrograding, still squaring Pluto. Okay? So it's kind of I told you at the beginning, it's like 13th of August, Mars square Pluto first time. Came this Friday night, second time. And it's kind of like, let's penetrate. Mars and Pluto. Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. And so you've got Mercury in Scorpio with Juno in opposition to Uranus and Lilith in Taurus. Quirky, kinky, radical, extreme, explore, experiment, beyond your boundaries, beyond your territory, do something new, in the department of your sexuality, of your intimacy, of your deep buried thought, fantasies, desires that you usually don't like to express or to think about or to admit to yourself. Let's admit them and let's see what they will reveal to us. And then you've got like Mars, the penetrating warrior, the masculine that wants to have intensity, it wants to have its desires, it wants to have its wants and needs, but is in retrograding in Aries. So he's trying to find out and rediscover what is it there that is disturbing the warrior masculine from having it? What is it that is holding him back? What is it that he has that he doesn't want to have anymore? And he's squaring Pluto. Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. So it's kind of like you have to face your fears. You have to face this restriction of the fears, of your deep trauma that are blocking your path. It's like, you have to face this, like, stop being afraid of being who you are. Stop hiding your true self. Get naked. Be seen. If you are a decent woman that usually is a very good girl, you grew up in a Catholic house, very restrictive kind of house, it's all about sexuality is a taboo, but you never allowed yourself to wear sexy lingerie. And you're in your 30s, you're in your 40s. When, if not now? Am I really guiding you against the religion, against God? No. I'm not saying to you go sleep around. I said you and your man, your beautiful sacred space, make yourself feel sexy like you never did before. Express to your partner what you want him to do like you never did before. It can be wild, it can be small, and for some people the small is very wild. So again, for each one it's what it is. But this Mars with Pluto, it's like, let's penetrate to the core of this. What is this? Why am I so afraid admitting my kinkiness, admitting my quirkiness, admitting my kind of radical revolutionary need? Some people take it all the way to open relationships and to swinging and stuff, and I'm not supportive of that necessarily, based on my own core values and based on my spiritual knowledge that, most people who do that, it's like most sexual needs are based on traumas. That's what we need to realize. So a lot of times when we allow the sexual pattern to play out, and we are consciously that it's playing out, we are consciously playing it out in order to experiment it, it can show us the unconscious debris behind it. For example, there is a lot of psychology into fantasy, and that's what I'm trying to get into. That the fantasy can reveal to us a lot of a psychology of us and our partners that is usually undiscovered unless it's explored. So, for example, a common fantasy of a CEO or director, a person in a place of power, is actually to be humiliated. Funny, right? This person has like thousands of employees underneath him, he's got lots of money, he's very successful, and what really turns him on is to be humiliated? How can that be? Well, it's actually quite simple. The person has so much power in the day by day. That power is not what that turns them on. They live by power. What turns them on is what they usually don't have, which is disempowerment. So in their fantasy, they've been disempowered, and that's what turns them on, because it's that different, it's that quirky that they don't have in reality. A common fantasy of a woman is to be, I don't want to go into full disclosures, but a common fantasy of a good woman is actually to be forced into activity with other men. Why? Because if in the fantasy she's forced, then she's still innocent. She hasn't really done anything against the taboo. And she allowed herself to be with other men because she was forced. So it's like, I haven't done really, it wasn't my fault. And it's like, so it's kind of a way for her to give herself the reasoning of why is that comfortable. And it's okay. Everything is okay to explore, to understand who we are. And so all this week, I was taking you through the days. I'll continue with this Mercury. So yeah, let's see. So right now, Mercury 11, Juno. Then we're going forward, days. Okay, here we are now on Sunday. Let's go to Monday. By the way, all this time, Sun is in Libra. That's the tone. We are searching for balance in relationships. And also important thing to know before I move forward, on Friday, we had 17. There we go. We had a grand cross, a very big cross, very significant. Over here, you'll see the Sun in Libra, cardinal sign. All right. And then we had Moon, 17 Cancer, cardinal water. And that's the Moon, the feminine is searching for the emotional connection, security, right? The Sun in Libra is around relationships with others. And, Sun is squaring Jupiter on 18 degrees Capricorn. Moon is in opposition to Jupiter, 18 degrees Capricorn. And here we've got the Mars, okay? So the Mars will close down into the 20, and the Sun will move forward into the 20 and 18. So we're going to have, if we go a day into Saturday, there you've got, here's the square between the Sun and Jupiter. That was yesterday. Sun, Jupiter, 1839. There we go. Monday, tonight. So we are building up into this, okay? This is actually happening right now. Where the Sun is here on 18 degrees of Libra, is squaring Jupiter, 18 degrees Capricorn. And both of them aligns with Mars. Here is Mars, 21 degrees of Aries, up there, 11 o'clock. Okay? And then you've got Venus here, 10 o'clock Virgo. So the big story is Sun in Libra. The tone of this month is the search for the balance and harmony in our relationship with others. That's what the Sun is doing. Mars in Aries is searching for the self-desires, self-needs, self-inhibition. What is preventing me from not having what I want? What is blocking me? Because I want this, I want that. But the Sun is coming in opposition, saying, but just remember, there's also the others, right? Because if you pursue your personal selfish desires in an unconscious, unchecked ways, this might hurt others. This week, and before I go to this example, then you've got Jupiter there in 18 degrees Capricorn. So it's highlighting the restrictions and the structure on the patriarchy of our old way of being ourselves. So it's like, here we are stuck in this structure of self that is being really highlighted, and I, me, my want this, desire this, but I have to consider the others in order to be right, okay? And at the same time that this is happening, the Jupiter, Sun, Mars, right? You've got that Uranus with Mercury, that exposure, still cooking, right? Cooking insights, conversation, slip outs, suddenly secrets revealed, disclosures hidden. We move through the days, and we're going into that. So this is tonight, and as we travel forward, look at the Mercury. Let's just look at the Mercury, okay? Here's the Mercury, 11 degrees. So he's still cooking with Uranus. He's now retrograding, and he's coming Uranus 9 degrees, and he's coming back into Uranus 9 degrees. Well, where are you? Sorry, I've lost you. Here you are. 9 degrees, hours, 9 degrees, 10 minutes. 9 degrees, 10 minutes. There you go. 9 degrees. There you go. So this is on Tuesday afternoon. Okay? Wednesday, Mercury opposition Uranus, first time. This coming Tuesday afternoon, Mercury retrograde, and straight into him again. Sorry, this is next Tuesday. I'm messing you up. I'm sorry. This is next Tuesday. Until next Tuesday, Mercury is like and slowly coming back into Uranus. And here they go next Tuesday again. Right? And then we'll take it to the days. And just look at Mercury. Mercury is at 12 o'clock. Okay? And here we go through the days. Mercury retrograde into Libra. Back into Libra at the end of October. We're starting November. Mercury is in Libra. All the way to the 25th degree of Libra, stationing, and then moving direct. And I'm taking it until it hits the 7th degree Scorpio, because it's going to meet Uranus for the third time. 8 degrees. There we go. On the 17th of November. Okay? So last Wednesday, first Mercury opposition to Uranus. Stops dead for this week. Cooking us, bringing conversation, realization, discussion, therapy, counseling, conversations, disclosures, secrets revealed through here or through there, rumors, gossip, whatever. Then we move on, we process it, we reflect, we think about it, we talk what are we going to do about this new finding realization, how do we process this, how we do this, and then Mercury comes into Uranus again for the third time on the 17th of November, goes like, and then gets another zap, okay? So that's about this Mercury-Uranus. I'm going to go back to now. As you can see, there's so much going on. Honestly, this could be a live stream of 5 hours. There's so much going on. So I said the Sun, searching for balance and harmony. That's the tone. Venus is in Virgo. That's another tone. Venus in Virgo, detoxing the relationship, the possessions, the values, what belongs, what doesn't belong, what is pure, what is not pure. We need to be careful, Venus in Virgo, not to be overcritical of other people, overcritical of our friendships, relationships. You might be going too much analyzing. You might be kind of putting the secretive hat on as a detective to try to get the secret out of your partner, but by doing that, you're actually doing kind of like very analytical, practical, perfectionist analysis of your partner, which is not so fair. You need to be not so critical. Remember that we are all souls with incarnation. We all have our own traumas. We all are going through very tough year, very intense times of transformation. So it's like we're not perfect. You need to remember that none of us is perfect. Your partner is not perfect, and you are not perfect. So, you need to remember that as you perfect your relationship, as you want to kind of, Venus in Virgo, in all this time of going into Scorpio season, Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, in oppositions to Uranus, bam, bam, bam. Mars squared Saturn. Mars is now squaring Pluto. Next week, Mars will square Jupiter for the third time. The planet's moving forward, and all this time, Venus is in Virgo. It's like Mercury is investigating, exploring the secrets, the hidden in Scorpio. It happens with this kind of quirky, radical, innovative, sudden, unexpected nature, rebellious of Uranus, Black Moon, Lilith in Taurus, which kind of shaking the status quo, shaking the taboo. And Venus in Virgo is coming down, this belongs, it doesn't belong. I like this, I don't like this. I don't want to do this anymore, I want to do this from now on. You know what? The old way of making love doesn't work for me, the new way is cool. The old way of relating doesn't work, this is the way I want to relate. I know that you used to call me pumpkin, but I realize I don't like it when you call me pumpkin because it makes me feel fat. So please don't call me pumpkin. Call me sweet pie, but you know what? Sweet pie also doesn't feel right. So just call me agave syrup, whatever, right? Let's try agave syrup. Hey, agave syrup, come here, baby. We had to have a bit of laughter too, huh? So yeah, Virgo is doing this kind of this, but Virgo in she can be a bit overcritical, over analytical. It's like, why did he say that? Why did she say that? So what do you mean? Did you mean this? Do you mean? Oh, I just heard you saying that. So why did you say that? It's like, don't be anal. Don't be judgmental. If you facilitate open, intimate, quirky conversation, discussion with your partner, if you dare to explore a fantasy, or if you will be willing to hear a fantasy of your partner, you have to make sure that you're creating an open, non-judgmental, safe space. Don't tell your partner to open up and then put judgment, shame, condemnation on it. You have to be mature enough to be able to accommodate it, even if you're scared, even if you're afraid, because it will show you something about yourself. But in the same way, you don't want your partner to look at you weird if your fantasy is to be with another man. Don't look at your partner in a weird way if they want to be with another woman in their fantasy. Because it doesn't mean that they want to be with another woman. It just means that it's a fantasy to spice up your life. And I know I say it's not for everyone, but for those it touches, yeah? If you put in your sexy lingerie and your partner doesn't like it, it doesn't mean that you're not looking good. It just means that they don't like it. Maybe they like a different lingerie. Whatever, usually you do it in the dark. Maybe you want to try to do it in the light. Why not? Because, I don't like my body. I'm a bit fat, or I'm a bit this. Like, so what? Put yourself out there in the light. Make love in the light. See how that feels. Yes, you can also see the imperfection of your partner's body. But if you want to be accepted in your imperfection, you must accept your partner in imperfection. And if you judge your partner, observe what you are judging, because that which you are judging is showing you what you are judging inside of you. And so we are taking the world as a very intimate mirror right now. Goji berry, huh? That's a good one, guys. Shalom, achi. Goji berry. Hi, my goji berry. Once people used to call each other sugar. Hey, sugar. Now it will be like, no, sugar is bad. Sugar is bad for you. Don't call me sugar. Call me cacao. Hi, cacao. Because cacao is a heart opener. You're my cacao medicine, my baby girl. So, yeah, this is a very deep psychic surgery into our sexuality, into our intimacy, into the forbidden, into the things that we wanted to do and we don't want to do. And again, I went a lot into sexuality because of Scorpio and Pluto. But it could be taken into your job. You always like to be in an office, answering the phones, nobody's seeing you, but now you find yourself suddenly, you became a practitioner of something, and you have to, you feel like you need to put yourself online. So you're going to dare doing something you never thought you're capable, which is putting yourself online. I'm working on a website that will put me in a new light, and Julia was working with me a few times. She told me, it's amazing. I mean, it's almost like you really want it, but it's almost like you don't know if you want to put yourself in that light, And it's true, because we kind of, we're pushing ourselves beyond our comfort zone to be in a new light. And so it's natural that we'll feel a bit scared or a bit intimidated or a bit afraid or a bit kind of concerned about, do I really want to be seen in that light? But if we will not take action, it will never be known. So you need to understand, we will never, ever see Mars in Aries squaring Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn in Capricorn, because this is hundreds of years cycles. And so it's hundreds of years of cycle here. So this is a rare opportunity to recreate our destiny, to recreate who we are, and it will affect our future generations, not just us. The next time Pluto will be here in Capricorn will be 240 years. The next time Jupiter will be here with Saturn will be many more hundreds of years, because of the way the cycles are, the algorithms. The next time Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn will be in Capricorn will be hundreds and hundreds of years. So, and we have come here from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Mercury is retrograde. Here we go. With this cycle that is happening now is closing a cycle which began in the 1200s. It's kind of like, it's huge, So we are ending the patriarchy. We are ending the old way of being on this planet. We are ending the old way of living this life. And all this time, the other positive thing is that Jupiter, here at 12 o'clock almost, 18 degrees, is still doing the sextile to Neptune here, 18 degrees of Pisces. So there's this doorway, a doorway to heavens. There's a doorway to connect with the divinity. Sorry, I just had an alert. There's a doorway to connect with the divinity. There's a doorway to connect with and it's like in reality it's all a mess. Not much power to be found, not much we can do out there, but we can do a lot in here, in our personal environment. Mercury, north node of the moon in Gemini, Mercury, we are guided to focus on our personal environment, intermediate environment, here, in our bodies, in our minds, in our hearts, in our soul. Psychic surgery, exploring, looking. How does it feel like if I allow myself to play with that fantasy? How does it feel like if I'm going to expose to my partner that I have that hidden need or hidden desire or hidden that? How will it be like if I will say that truth and expose that about myself? It might create some instability. It might shake the ground, but let it be shake because I'm bored, because I need some spice, I need some excitement, I need a new destiny, and I need to know who is really with me, who is not with me. And this will show me, because it's about creating a new destiny for yourself. It's about taking action. This Mercury with Uranus is it's a great brainstorming to find these ingenious, creative ideas of, oh my God, I never thought I'd be able to think like that. This is a whole new way of thinking. This is a whole new way of relating. This is a whole new way of experiencing, exploring love and connection. This is a whole new way of exploring my finances, by the way. Uranus in Taurus, Mercury in Scorpio. Revolution in finance. Let's I can't believe by buying Bitcoin, I've reclaimed my financial sovereignty. I am in full control of my money. The bank can be closed tomorrow and the money is in my pocket. If I want to send money now to my family in Israel, I can do it right now and it's there within 2 minutes. If I want to send money to a friend in South America, I can do it right now from my wallet and it's there in 2 minutes. And over the last few years of me chipping in dollars into Bitcoin, I have saved myself, because at the time that Bitcoin is there, staying kind of similar area, dollar is losing value. They're printing money to oblivion. They are basically taking the dollar into Armageddon. They're taking the financial system into Armageddon. Titanic is sinking. This week, Kawasaki himself tweeted on Twitter, Titanic is sinking, get out while you still can. Get out into the life-saving boats. It's coming, people. It's coming. A massive crash is coming. Massive hyperinflation. You still don't know it because we're locked in the houses, and that's part of the reason why we're locked in the houses. There's a massive financial shitstorm brewing in the background. And if you're not going to save yourself, if you're not going to take a radical change to your financials, you're going to be not happy. You're not going to be happy. So it's kind of like, dare to buy some Bitcoin. Not a financial advice, but a loving opinion. Dare to buy some Bitcoin. Do not hold on to your dollar. It's losing value every day you're living. It's being treated like garbage these days by the moneymakers. Get yourself some Bitcoin. Get yourself some silver. Get yourself some gold. Radical change. Change the way you think. But I always like to I don't gamble. It's okay, but if you don't take risk, there is no reward, baby. That's the bottom line. If you want to get the reward, Jupiter with Neptune, and all you have right now is your psychic channeled heightened intuition. Listen to your intuition very carefully. Listen to your psychic. Jupiter is with Neptune. The connection to the divine self is here, but we have to connect, we have to tune in. We have to tune in through our psychic, through our intuition, through feeling. What is it? What is it that he's saying that she's not saying? What is it that he's saying that he's not saying? What is it that I'm feeling that I know that I've been feeling for a long time, but I've been denying that feeling because I didn't want to really face the truth of it? But let's face the truth of it. Let's face the music. I'm feeling that about you. I'm feeling that. That's my intuition. What do you have to say about that? I mean, I never really dared asking you that, but I've been thinking about it for a long time. I really want to know, what is your point of view? And let's see what that brings out. So this is happening all this week. This is kind of the process. So I'm reminding you, Wednesday, we move in Tuesday. Um, the moon is gonna kick into Virgo on Tuesday. It's gonna pass on Wednesday. The moon is gonna be with Venus, so it's gonna be like really feeling the analytical, practical truth to understand the perfection of it. While Mercury on that day is stationed in retrograde, so at the same time Mercury is stationed in retrograde on Wednesday, the moon will be with Venus in Virgo. And, this weekend wasn't comfortable because the moon had to face all the Capricorn. There's a lot going on, guys. I don't know how much, I can give you because it's just endless. There's just so much. But it's brewing and brewing and brewing. And then we'll come into Friday. Let's see. Friday, there we go, 23. Sorry, Saturday morning. The new moon. There we go, exactly here. Saturday, 6:30 a.m. We have a new moon in Libra. Okay? So, we're going to finish the live stream very shortly. Very, very shortly, we're going to finish the live stream. But give me 1 minute of compassion. Wow, it's been 2 hours. I have to go to the toilet. What can I do? Give me 2 minutes and I'm coming back.
Love has been guiding me in my past. Love is guiding me now towards my goals. Love protects me, love guides me, love is outside of me, love is within me. I am love. I am love. I am love. The power of the sun is within me. I am the power of the sun.
And I'm back, baby. Told you, short
The
and
light of the divine is within
stop
me.
that.
I am the light of the divine.
So, let's conclude this, people. It's gonna get more and more intense. It's gonna get much more deeper, much more intimate. It's gonna bring revelations, insights. It's gonna bring needed conversation, discussion between us and ourselves, between us and others. And it needs to be in a way that is balanced between that self-mass desire, frustration, as he's playing with his old restriction governance patriarchy. It will be needed to be accommodated through the Libra. We have to do it in balance with others, pursue our desires and pursue our needs, while we need to remember that there's the others in there too. Okay? So I give you one perfect example that I've seen this week. Naomi showed me this amazing, fascinating 3-chapter series. I forgot on which channel it was, BBC. And it's the Murdoch Dynasty. And it basically exposed the entire life of Murdoch, which is the godfather of media, right? He owns almost all media in Australia. He owns, Fox News in America and then Washington Post and New York Post. He owns the Sky News. And he just, it's amazing what they show there. It's classic movie to see in this energy, because it exposed how he basically brought himself from nothing into a place of so much power that, he was a big part of the war in Iraq. He was a big part of Brexit. He was a big part of Tony Blair leading to the Euro with England. He was a big part of many things. So, but in that story, the cool thing is that at some point in his journey, he exposed the CEO, director of the Formula One. And he exposed the Formula One by posting on his newspaper, The Sun, a big cover story that the CEO of Formula One was with the 5 escort ladies in a hotel room. The reason why I bring this up is because he really came into me as an example. So, the CEO of the Formula One, what happened following that? He opens the newspaper in the morning, he sees himself on the cover story, he realizes he has to confront his wife. He confronts his family, he's telling them about it, and we didn't get too much details about what happened with him and his wife, but most likely something happened. His point was fair enough. He was like, the fact that something happened, it happened, but it doesn't mean it's right for you to enter a private property and taking pictures of someone having entertainment in his own private time and post it on your newspaper. And that's a fair point. But the problem is that Murdoch wanted to expose him for some reason. And at the bottom line, what happened after that, the painful side of this story, is that one of the sons of the Formula One CEO, he was a bit of mentally unstable, and he was just coming off drugs. And that story coming out to the newspapers, probably because of what happened in their family in that time, made him go back to drugs, and he died shortly after. And so, why I'm bringing that up, because I'm saying, as for the Formula One person, back then, men of power, money, Formula One races all around the world, making millions, living the good life. His ego corrupted him and said, I want to be with 5 escort ladies in a room. Didn't think it's going to hurt anyone. I'm doing it. It's my secret kinky thing. I want to be with 5 girls in a hotel room. It's like, I can. I have the money. I have the power. Why not? It doesn't, I'm not killing anyone. He's gone and done that. But then comes Scorpio, Mercury, and exposed that on the newspaper, on the media, and here his shadow is coming out. So suddenly the thing that he thought is not going to hurt anyone suddenly hurt the closest people to him in the hardest way possible. And potentially the equation was, he went with 5 escort girls into a hotel room, and he lost his son. How sad is that? That he lives until this moment with the knowing that if he wouldn't have done that night with those girls, his son wouldn't be dead. And as a father, there's nothing worse that can happen to you, really, honestly. So that's one thing. But then on the Murdoch side, by exposing this person, because you had your needs to expose him for whatever the reason was, you've made his son kill himself. So it's like, you see what I'm saying? It's important to investigate, but just remember that when you go and play with fantasies, with sexuality, with the shadow self, there's a very fine line between lust and love. That is where the dark serpent can enter the temple and corrupt the divine order. And so, allow yourself to explore yourself, and it doesn't have to be with a partner. Maybe you never even dare to have a fantasy. Some people don't dare to indulge in self-pleasure. I'm not here to say what's right, what's wrong. I'm just describing situations. Some people never liberated their sexuality to explore their own sexuality with themselves. In my point of view, it's like, if you don't know what gives you pleasure, how can others know what gives you pleasure? If you don't know what you love, how will others know what you love? So it's kind of like, you have to be intimate with yourself and be real. What is your thing? It's been a long session. We've talked about a lot of things, and there's a lot of things brewing. But yeah, as this week cooks, the new moon will come on Saturday morning, which means that on Friday night, I will be serving the new moon meditation, sound healing meditation, to our community. If you wish to receive the new moon sound healing meditation, please join us on Patreon and subscribe to our beautiful community. This is what we do. We keep the practice alive. The other thing I want to say is that I have chose to donate and be in service for the frontline workers in a beautiful event that is going to happen between the 30th of October and the 8th of November. The direct link, it's a free event. My dear friend Tanya Levy and her friend as well have created this event, and I want to tell you, you can go into this website and book your tickets for free. This is not just including me, it's including 70 other conscious awareness people, well-being industry people, young and old, with lots of experience. And the website is Vita Vibe Event. So VITAVIBEEVENTS.com. Events.com. Book yourself for free. I will be donating the full moon sound healing meditation in Taurus on the 1st of November. And this is who I am. That's how I do it. I give back to the community. I like to help. And, let's give our blessings to all the frontline workers, to the teachers who are going back tomorrow. My tip for you is simple. You cannot take away the suffering and the traumas of the children you're going to help. You cannot satisfy their need to know what's going on, because they will have a need to know what's going on. That's how the Scorpio Mercury is going to affect them. Your job is to give them comfort in the present. My advice to a teacher this week was, she was like, what if the kids ask me if we're going to a third lockdown, or if we're going to have to be like this for a long time? What would I say to them? You say, look, we don't know what's going to happen, but what we know is that we have each other now. So try to give the students, the youngies the little people, give them comfort by bringing them into the now. Of like, now we are together. Now we are here in the classroom. Now we're having fun. Let's focus on that. And just give them love. Give them love. That's all they need. To all the teachers, bless your hearts for doing the work for the kids. And for all the nurses. And, yesterday I even thought about the foodie players. People don't see it like that. Last night Collingwood played one of the most shocking games they played ever in the finals, and everyone's talking about it. And I was thinking, for God's sake, man, give them a break. Think about the foodie players. They have been the frontline workers. They have been forced and told by the foodie season, AFL, and government that the whole responsibility of entertaining the nation and giving the nation some kind of activity, of sport, of excitement, is on their shoulders. So you have all these players. They had to be away from their hometown. They've been flown away from Victoria, away from Melbourne. They have to be away from their houses, away from their families, away from their friends and their natural environments. They have to live in hotels in different cities, towns in Australia, train, constantly be with their teammates. They have to be in lockdown. They can't associate with people or socialize with people. They have to be in that thing, and they have to be responsible. They have to entertain the people. They have to play no matter what. So it's like, yeah, you could see in Collingwood face yesterday, I'm not a big foodie person, but my family is. So I had to watch it with them. It's kind of like, they're tired. They're exhausted. They've been playing all this season, far away from home, flying from one place to another, traveling from one place to another, needing to perform, needing to hold space for the community. And they're tired. They're exhausted. They just want to be. So let us understand everyone, okay? Hello, Lisa. Hello, Steph. I love you all, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me on this beautiful Sunday. I wish you all a very good week. Remember, it is time to go deep within, to investigate, to explore, to do the talk therapy, the counseling, the healing therapy, the psychology, the psychotherapy, between friends, between partners, between you and yourself. Explore the hidden, explore the desirable, explore the need, explore the change that you need to initiate in your life, okay? It's a very, very powerful week. And this is it's opportunity. It's basically an opportunity for us. And there's a good fortune in this, because this is the Jupiter-Neptune. You have a door of opportunity here. Spirit is guiding you. Don't be afraid. Face your dream. Face your dream. But just remember, with Neptune influence, there's always deception, delusion in this, okay? As for the collective, I didn't even go there. Don't go there either. It's gonna get even crazier. I'm in a place now, I just cannot consume even one bit of data from the external world. Nothing makes sense. It's all mishmash. So I just avoid. But no, a lot of things are gonna come out. I believe that the spaceship concept, aliens concept, UFOs, it's gonna come out big time very soon. It's gonna be a part of this. It's gonna be a lot more disclosures now of all the sex trafficking, of all these things that's going on. A lot of disclosures about the corruption with all the poo. It's all gonna come out. It's all gonna be very active. There's gonna be a lot of anger in the air, a lot of frustration. Don't be afraid. Exactly. Face your dream. Face your fantasy. Explore your fantasy in order to understand what's behind it. You will understand a lot about your own psychology, because there's a lot of teachings there. And we'll talk later again. I'll see you again next Sunday, if not beforehand. But yeah, once again, thank you all for being here with me today. I love you all dearly. You're awesome people, awesome community, awesome family. And I really appreciate your support and your love. And yeah, that's it. Live your dreams, people. Go to the forbidden zone of your own psyche and explore what is there to be found with love, with acceptance, and with courage to be who you really are and who you really want to be that you never dared to be. It's time to dare. Dare to be you. Dare to expose you. Dare to share who you are. And let that show you the truth. It will show you the truth. And don't be afraid of seeing the truth, because the truth will set you free. I love you dearly. Have a great week. Stay positive, stay alive, drink the water. Ground yourself into the earth with all this Uranus electricity energy, nervous system activity. Meditate, ground yourself, bare feet on the earth, yoga, exercise, water, food. Take care of your body, take care of your soul, take care of your mind. Love you. I will see you soon next week. Peace.